Hello, my dear friends. I am Pradford. Here is the master teacher of Little Dear Sir channel, and today's topic is of science, that is work, force, and energy, which is related to the thermochemistry. Now, see what is inside the work, force, and energy about the thermochemistry. We'll start. Now, see work, force, and energy. Work is only accomplished when a force moves an object some distance. Only if we'll pull it, if we'll push it, and if we'll transfer the object from one place to another place, then we will get the work done will be happen. The force is what? A push or pull that will get the require the force on it. So that work is what? The force and multiply with distance. Required or applied force and the distance or displacement happen from that object, that is the distance, and work is when force multiply with distance, then we'll get the work. Energy is what? The ability to work, that is energy. The Newton meter is equal to the joule, and it is the unit of measuring energy. Now let's see next, energy form of the sun. The plants are the only organisms that can make what? That can make their own food. They can make. These are called autotrophs. Those are dependent on their self. They are autotrophs. Plants use sunlight, water, and minerals to make food in process called the photosynthesis. As we know about this, the photosynthesis, this process takes place in the plants. They, by using this, they make their own food. The transfer of energy from the sun to the plants to the animals is called food chain. This energy is used from the sun, and that requires to maintain of the ecosystem, and that is the food chain of the animals are heterotrophs. All the animals are heterotrophs because they do not make their own food by themselves. They are dependent on the plants. That's why they are autotrophs. Now see, energy from the sun. The amount of energy food contains is measured in calories. Means in calories we have to measure it, but the main unit of that is joule, which is Newton meter, is also known as Newton meter. A calorimeter is used to measure the energy in food. The food energy is measured in the calories. Stored energy from the sun is found in the form of fossil fuels. The fossil fuels is the stored energy. Potential and kinetic energy. See here, potential energy is stored energy or the energy of position. Suppose this pen is down, and if I pulled it or picked up it, so in my hand it is in the potential energy which has stored inside, because if I will lift it, it can be go to the down, and that's why it has a that energy, means is that is the potential energy. Kinetic energy is the energy of the motion. Kinetic energy is what? That is the energy of motion. And a battery has a chemical potential energy because it is a stored energy and which is in the chemical form. Now 7 forms of the energy. 7 forms of the energy are that is mechanical, heat, chemical, radiant, electrical, sound, and nuclear. These all the forms of energy which is on the earth we have to seen, that is the mechanical, heat, chemical, radiant, and electrical, sound, and nuclear. All these 7 forms of energy we have to study. Now see, what is the mechanical energy? Mechanical energy is the energy of motion, and that is known as the mechanical energy. If you throw the ball, it gets the mechanical energy. If you pull the car, it gets the mechanical energy. Means mechanical energy is the energy of motion. Heat energy is what? Heat energy is related to the movement of the particles that make up matter. about the heat. Electrical is what? Is the movement of electrons. When electrons move inside the element, and then it creates the electrical energy. Radiant is what? Includes the light, X-rays and radio waves which is related to the sunlight or rays. During the photosynthesis, carbon dioxide, minerals and water are turned into the glucose. While photosynthesis process, this transfers to the glucose, and which is the food of plant, and which is a sugar, and oxygen is released from that. Nuclear energy has to do with the nucleus. Now law of conservation of energy is what that we will study. The law of conservation of energy is what? The energies neither be created nor be destroyed, but it can be transferred from the one form of the energy to the another form. The law of conservation of energy states that the energy cannot be created and not be destroyed, converted from one form to another form. Now see, when we lift a ball to the certain point, we have given it potential energy. Means if we ball the certain point, if we lift it, when the release the ball, the potential energy is converted into the kinetic energy. Now see, the friction is defined the resistance to relative motion between the two bodies in the contact, that is the friction. Suppose the cycle is riding on the road, and the road and the tire, there is the friction between that two, there is the contact and there is the friction, that is known as the friction energy. A Newton moved for 1 meter means 1 joule, it is unit. Now measuring energy changes. See, the energy is required to raise the temperature of 1 gram of water by 1 degree Celsius, that is 4.19 joule, and this is equal to 1 calorie. In 1000 calories is equal to 1 calorie, and which is equal to 1 calorie, you can say it. Some examples are given here about this thermochemistry, related to the thermochemistry. Now see, the energy in food is measured in the energy in food. The food energy is there. We take the food, we get the energy to create the to do the work, and that's why that energy is measured in the calories. In which form is measured? In calories. Now next, now see, the another word for a joule is a Newton meter. Another word for a joule is Newton meter. That is the true sentence. Yes. Next, energy from the sun is stored in the fossil fuels, as I told you. These are the questions which are very important about the thermochemistry and work energy. Which has the greatest amount of potential energy? That is, see here, 4 examples are given. A cat is standing on the dining room table which is near and close to each other. That the cat laying under a tree dining room table, laying under a dining room table, which is also both the points are very close, so that more energy is not there. A cat chasing moose in the kitchen, that is also it's very close, that's why also they don't have the more potential energy. But the cat up a tree, and that time the greatest amount of potential energy will there. Mechanical energy is the energy of motion. In which form the energy from the light of the sun? That is radiant, not sound, chemical and not mechanical also, but it is radiant. According to the law of conservation, energy can be neither created nor destroyed. It can, however, be transferred from one energy form to another energy form, and that is turned into the gravity, stored into generators, converted to another form. This is third one is the answer of this. Totally used up in the industry, it is also not there. Third one is the answer of this question. Heat energy is associated with movements of atoms. Potential energy is defined as, see here, energy is stored energy released by food, energy of moving object, energy released by chemicals. The first one is the answer, that is energy which is stored, that is the potential energy. What is the standard scientific unit, the measuring energy of energy change, that is joule, as I told you. In this way, the things or some questions and some informations about the thermochemistry, about the force, then work, we have studied about the energy also. And this is the greatest channel to all the childrens to get the free education to all over the world. So I hope you will like this and you will subscribe to our channel and you can take the free education to all. Thank you.